Hi folks, this is Matt Crandall, former analyst for the East Coast Hockey League's Toledo Walleye and Toledo Storm. And oh yeah, former coach of your coach, Matt Cini. I'm here to share with you a recap of the 2012-2013 season for the Washington Lee T.C. Williams High School Hockey Club. Let's get it started. Following last year's pedestrian finish, the Blue entered the new season determined to improve their play and contend for a league title. The coaches counted on senior captain Coleman Smith's leadership to guide the team, which returned a nice blend of slick playmakers and two-way grinders. Defensively, Drew Lehman, Sukman Nahal were joined by converted defenseman Sam Douthit and first-year teammate Jack McCarthy. And after taking last season off, Sean Moriarty's return to the roster provided additional experience and an instant upgrade of speed. Matt Stewart was between the pipes for the third straight season, and the addition of sophomore Jack Rogers added quality depth at the goaltending position. The team opened the new season with a non-league contest against George Mason, West Potomac. Freshman Vestel Noristani tallied his first goal of his high school career, and Blake Rundle added 2 goals to give the Blue an early 3-0 lead. George Mason West Potomac battled back, scoring the next 3 goals to tie the game. Chris Leo and Sam Huffman each added goals to give the Blue a 5-4 advantage entering the third period. However, the depth of George Mason West Potomac would be the deciding factor in this one, as they scored 3 goals in the final period to escape with a 7-5 win. 2 weeks later, the same 2 teams met to kick off league play. This time, it was Julian Leiter who scored to get the Blue on the board first. However, George Mason West Potomac rattled off 3 straight again before Sukman Nahal and Bill Donahue tied the game midway through the second period. But a goal in the waning seconds of that second period gave the lead back to George Mason West Potomac. Another goal by Potomac Mason midway through the third period provided them with enough insurance to hold on and defeat Washington Lee TC again, this time final 5-4. Looking to record their first win of the season, the Blue played host to Flint Hill at Kettler Iceplex. Matt Stewart was rock solid in net, turning away 21 of 22 shots in this game. Sam Huffman's goal in the first period and Trevor McManus's 2 second period goals gave the Blue a 3-1 lead heading into the third. A sound defensive game and strong 3-line rotation from the Blue prevented the Huskies from mounting a serious attack as Washington Lee T.C. Williams holds on for their first victory of the season. Next up, defending league champion Robinson Jeb Stewart, who entered the contest on a 13-game winning streak going all the way back to last season. However, the Blue were energized and ready for a physical game. Matt Stewart's brilliant performance and goal helped his team early. However, Jeb Stewart would score first, but senior Sammy Silverman's deflection on a shot from defenseman Sukman Nahal would even the game. As the game went on, the Blues' physical play took its toll on the opponent and the momentum began to turn. Chris Leo and Sukman Nahal each tallied. Trevor McManus added 2 goals to give the Blue a decisive victory over defending league champion. Final score 5-2. Big win. Big win. North Stafford Colonial Forge was next challenge up for the Blue. The highly talented opposition started fast and kept coming, humbling goalie Jack Rogers and his teammates with a barrage of shots and goals in the first period. 6 goals in the first period. Chris Leo would finally get his team on the board late in the period, add another goal midway through the second period, and then goals by Donahue and McManus would cut the lead to 3, giving the Blues some life as the game would enter the third period. However, any of that life, any momentum, any hope they would have would be lost due to a late start to the period, crazy rink rules, and an eventual 8-minute third period. Any chance by the Blue was limited now. One bright spot, though, in the truncated period, freshman Cole Praver netted the first goal of his high school hockey career. It would not be enough, though, as Washington Lee T.C. Williams was handed a critical second loss in league action. The following night, Washington Lee T.C. Williams traveled to Ashburn for a late-night contest against Briar Woods. Jack Rogers was in net for this one for the second straight night and bounced back strong with a shutout. Chris Leo and Sam Huffman each netted hat tricks. Sukman Nahal, Sean Moriarty, and Trevor McManus also tallied. The Blue put on a clinic as they pounded the Falcons 9-0. The next week, the Blue was back home at Kettler Iceplex to face off against the Osborne Eagles. Matt Stewart was back in net and stifled the Eagles' attack early. Chris Leo continued his torrid scoring, and Manny Nahal registered his first goal of the year to give the Blue a 2-0 lead after one period. McManus and Blake Rundle added goals, and it looked like another runaway was in store. But the Eagles soared back with 3 straight goals to cut the lead to 1. However, the Blue was able to refocus and close out the game for the team's 4th victory of the season. The Blue would hit the road again to Ashburn the next night to play Loudon Valley Woodgrove. Despite missing several key players to holiday travel, the Blue dominated their opponents and recorded over 50 shots. Strong goaltending early by the opposition kept this game close though, before Chris Leo explodes again and scored the first of his 3 goals. Get the hats out. Manny Nahal and Billy Donahue added goals, and Matt Stewart turned away all but one as Washington Lee T.C. Williams wins it 5-1. Washington Lee T.C. Williams kicked off the new year against the Potomac Panthers. Defenseman Drew Lehman got the Blue on the board first, and McManus and Huffman extended the lead to 3-0 by the end of the first period. A surge by the Panthers in the second period reduced the lead to 1 goal before McManus and Julian Leiter would add a little insurance. Jack Rogers and Matt Stewart split the goaltending duties in this one, combining to stop 11 of 13 shots as the Blue extend their winning streak to 4 games. Next on the schedule was Oakton Stonebridge. From the drop of the puck, Washington Lee T.C. Williams dominated play, and the game turned into another rout. Chris Leo tallied 4 times. Blake Rundle, Sean Moriarty, Coleman Smith each added a pair of goals, and Sukman Nahal also found the back of the net to round out the scoring in this lopsided affair, 11-2. For Washington Lee T.C. Williams, one game mattered significantly more than the rest. Yorktown. That's right, the rivals. They would face off at Kettler Iceplex in front of a large and spirited crowd. Yorktown, who plays in the upper level of the NVSHL, scored on the first shift of the game to take a quick lead. But Washington Lee T.C. Williams tightened up their defense, and the back and forth first period ended with the Patriots still clinging to that 1-0 lead. Yorktown went up 2 goals early in the second period before Trevor McManus again and Huffman again would tally quick back-to-back goals to tie this one. A late goal in the second period would give the Patriots a 1-goal advantage when the teams entered the final period. When Yorktown tallied their 4th goal, it looked like the favorites had done enough to hold off their upstart opponents. Their lead was 2 goals, and they had all the momentum with only 10 minutes to play. Then, Sean Moriarty found Drew Lehman on a long breakaway pass. Lehman deeped Yorktown's goalie and scored to bring the game within 1. And then, with 5 minutes remaining, the Blue would find themselves on a power play. With the man advantage after a skirmish in front of Yorktown's net, junior Blake Rundle knocked in the game-tying goal with only 4 minutes remaining. The final minutes were frantic in this contest as Yorktown pressured. Matt Stewart turned away several chances, but the Blues' hopes of upsetting their rivals were dashed with 1 minute and 23 seconds remaining in the game. The puck squirted out of the corner and out of the stick of the Yorktown player, standing all alone on the back door. The Patriots buried the puck past a sprawling Stewart to break the tie. Yorktown would add an empty net goal to seal the victory and hand Washington Lee T.C. Williams a crushing defeat. No time to feel sorry for yourself, though, as for the second week in a row, Washington Lee T.C. Williams would challenge an upper level NVSHL team. This time it was on the road at Fort DuPont Arena versus the Bishop Ireton Cardinals. The Blue would not help themselves in this one when a carload of players got lost traveling to the game, and the team would have to start the game with only 8 skaters. Talented Bishop Ireton Cardinals would seize this opportunity and jump out to an early 4-goal lead. The lopsided game evened out as more players arrived midway through the second period. Sean Moriarty and Drew Lehman scored goals to close the gap, but it was too little too late on this one. Final score, Bishop Ireton 6, the Blue 3. Washington Lee, T.C. Williams returned to league play against Bishop O'Connell in the season finale. Before the game, the team celebrated senior night, honoring Coleman Smith, Sammy Silverman, and Sean Moriarty. Bishop O'Connell scored first, but it was all Washington Lee T.C. Williams after that. Freshman Billy Donahue scored to open the floodgates. Senior Sammy Silverman scored 3 goals, netting the hat trick to finish his career in style. Fellow senior Coleman Smith had a goal and 2 assists in his final game. Chris Leo, Blake Rundle, Sam Huffman, and Trevor McManus rounded out the scoring to give the Blue their 8th win of the season and guarantee at least a second-place finish in league standings. But the Blue would have to wait a whole week anxiously before the final league standings would be determined, and it was not to be, as Lake Braddock Marshall won their season finale and secured first place by 1 point. Despite just missing out on the league title and coming so close against their rival Yorktown, the season was a success. The 8 wins were the most wins in a season for the club, and their second place finish in the league is also the program's highest ever. The success this team had was a culmination of the players' hard work, not just this year, but going back several seasons. It was only a few seasons ago, when these seniors were freshmen, that the program only won 1 game. What a turnaround. Coleman Smith, Sammy Silverman, Sean Moriarty can be proud to know they helped transform this program and have established a level of excellence that will be the standard moving forward. And next year, rising seniors will be expected not only to maintain that standard, but build on it and take the program to even higher heights. So it's my pleasure now to introduce the 2012-2013 Washington Lee T.C. Williams High School Hockey Team. What a season, guys. Great job.